your mate claims he has an Evo, but it's just a Lancia with a big fat wang on it. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Airflow and welcome back to the channel. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is telling you guys how to get dirt cheap insurance. Now, this all depends, before I get into it, I'm just going to say this all depends on where you live and what your neighbourhood's like and all that sort of thing, because your insurance mainly goes off that. So if you live in a quiet place where the crime rate's dead low, you're going to get dirt cheap insurance because there's less chance of getting your car stolen. So guys, without further ado, let's get into the video. So my first tip I'm going to give you guys is one for people who don't own cars already. Now, this tip is very important. As your first time driver, a lot of people seem to get the most common cars, you know, for example, the Corsas, you've got your certified Beefers, your Polos, what else is there? There's loads of others like Fiestas and stuff like that. Now, because them cars are quite common as first cars, and because the rate of having an accident in your first year is quite high, the insurance is a bit dear because a lot of people seem to have accidents in them. Now that's got nothing to do with you. You might not have an accident in your first year. It doesn't matter. It's still going to cost more on your insurance due to the fact that they've had accidents before. So when I went from a Polo 1.4 litre, which was £1,100 to insure without a box, to this Civic, which is 60 brake horsepower faster, bearing in mind, so it's double the speed of my Polo, and it was actually £1,300. Now you might think that's a bit more expensive, but this has got modifications listed. For example, it's got a spoiler, exhaust, springs, what else does it have? It has the induction kit and the rest of that. So obviously it's a bit more expensive if you've got mods. Now, just a quick one before we get into the next tip. Talking about mods, I'm not going to recommend any mods or anything like that. I'm not going to talk about modified insurances and stuff like that. I'm going to leave that for a different video because I have a lot on that topic anyway, experiencing it myself and what have you. So let's get into the next tip. So the next tip, guys, is going to be where to shop on. Now, I used to use comparethemarket.com, but that never worked out for me. I never really got the cheap insurance I was looking for until I tried Go Compare. Go Compare is my go-to one, and it's dead simple, dead easy to use. You sign up, you write in all your information and what have you, and then the next time you want to look at some more insurance, all you have to do is type the registration plate of the car in. Now guys, when you're looking on Go Compare, what you want to do is the information. Basically what you want to do is tell them the truth. If you have got mods listed, list them. If you haven't, don't list them. Now, first thing you want to do, guys, is check how many miles you actually do in a year. I only live 2 miles away from work, so I set my miles to 8,000, and that lowers the car a hell of a lot. Where, for example, some people seem to think that if you have your car on lower miles, for example 1,000 miles, your car insurance is going to be cheaper, which isn't necessarily, because you'd think because it's got less time on the road, there's less chance of it having an accident. That's rubbish. How the insurance companies see it is, if you're doing less miles, you're doing more on Sunday drives. And what does Sunday drives mean? Speeding. So if you're speeding, more chance of having an accident. So I wouldn't go down that route, guys. Let's just get that aside. I recommend going for about 8,000, 10,000 miles. Obviously if you do more, set it to more, but if you are going more, then you know your insurance is going to be more dearer. Now guys, the next tip I'm going to talk about is access fee. Now this is a big topic. This is what can lower your insurance massive amounts, but the problem is with it is if you don't know what it is, you tell your insurance what your access fee is, and I set mine to £1,000, which is dear. And basically what that means is if you do have an accident and you've caused £1,500 worth of damage, you have to pay £1,000 worth of it and they pay the rest. So obviously if you set this lower, your insurance is going to be dearer. So say if I set my access to £500 and I have an accident and it costs me £1,000 to repair, I only have to pay half of it. So it is useful in a way, but if you set it to 1,000, if you're confident like me and you don't think you're going to have an accident, then yeah, it's definitely worth doing because it drops your insurance quite a lot. So the next thing we're going to be talking about today, guys, is named drivers. Now named drivers is very, very important. If you have a mum and dad which are fully comp and all that sort of stuff, if they're fully comp, then yeah, if you add them to your insurance, you can drop it hundreds of pounds. I mean, like, I dropped mine like £300 in my first year of driving, and that was brilliant. So, which brings me on to my next thing, with my next topic. Be comparison, go on full comparative. Don't try to go third party or any of that shit. It's not worth it. Sorry I swore then. I'm not bleeping it out. I'm not monetized yet anyway. So yeah, guys, that is the best way. Yeah, best way to do is to be fully compared. Go for your full comp and all that. Now I've got a tip for you guys. If you haven't passed your test yet and you're thinking of getting learner driver's insurance, I've got a good tip for you guys. I went with a short insurance called GSI Insurance. This is before I passed my test. This was a learner driver insurance where if 6 months down the line I passed my driving test, it carried on to my normal insurance. So what I did, I got this 6 months before I passed my test. So then all I had to do was, when I passed my test 6 months down the line, I rang them and said, right, my car's insured. I've passed my driving test. They rang me back saying, yeah, we're okay, you're insured on the road now. And that means 6 months down the line I had my year's no claims, even though I wasn't driving for a year. And that helped me out massively, because I've been driving now nearly 2 years, but I've got over 2 years no claims. And I'm coming up to my 3rd year of no claims in April, and then my insurance drops down massive amounts, because I'll be 21 with 3 years no claims. I'm legal to drive other people's cars and stuff like that, so it drops down massively. So yeah guys, if you haven't passed your test, I would recommend doing that. It's a good shout really. Right guys, my next thing I'm going to be talking about, right, is when you've got your insurance price on Go Compare. So if you've got your insurance price on Go Compare, the best thing to do is to ring them straight after. If you've got a quote on there, it's always cheaper to ring them, because obviously it's a Go Compare website. They make their money by taking a bit out of the insurance for advertising it. So the best thing to do is ring them up straight away and say, I've got this quote off you, and they go, yeah, that's fine, blah blah blah. They might even lower it a peg or two. And another thing is, where you park your car is important. I forgot to mention that. I park my car on the drive. So, and also if you ring them, because you don't get the option on Go Compare websites, if you ring them and tell them I'm insured in the, I'm parking the drive, so they automatically think I'm insured in the drive. And I've also got cameras. If you tell them you've got cameras, it drops it loads, because if your car got stolen, you've got proof of it being stolen. It's not just some stupid insurance job or something like that, if you know what I mean. So that's another thing to mention. Turn that heating down, it's a bit loud. Weather's a bit mess to get today, guys. It seems to be raining and it seems to be sunny. I don't know what it is. So yeah guys, ringing your insurance is always the best way forward. And then my final tip, if you are insured already on a car and your renewal's coming up and blah blah blah, best thing to do is go Compare websites and then tell them you've got a cheaper insurance somewhere else, and they'll knock it down even more. They knocked mine down 100 quid. I know it's not massive like, but it saved me 100 quid, didn't it? And I'd always recommend paying your insurance outright if you can afford it. I know it's a bit difficult for 17-year-olds and what have you, 17, 18, 19, to insure the car. And this is another thing just before I go, guys, I'm just going to have to tell you this. It's not a nice thing to hear, but no matter what, you got to have a black box. And it's just one of those things we've all got to do. It's a life lesson, we've all got to do it. Unless you've got rich mum and dad, then a 17-year-old on minimum wage isn't going to be able to afford it, unfortunately. So, because I had a friend at school who said he was going to have a VXR for his first car, so he wasn't going to have a box on it and all that, just chatted shit through his mouth. And now he's got a 60 brake horsepower Fiat Punto, and he's had it for 2 years of a box. So anyway guys, hopefully you did enjoy the video. If this helped in any sort of way, leave a like on the video. If you've got any questions you want to ask me, I've got loads of other tips as well. I have an Instagram, it's up there right now, you can just read it there, or it's in the link in the description, it's under It's Airflow. So anyway guys, if you want to see more videos, hit the bell icon, subscribe for more, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you all next video. Peace out.